by simply prompting Windsurf a couple of times here with the goal of creating the Google Chrome No Internet T-Rex game. We were able to create our own version here as fast as possible. In this tutorial, I'll go over how to take Windsurf code and actually display it in your browser. Sound good? Let's jump in. A couple things to get out of the way before we even begin today's video. First thing, I wasn't even going to cover Windsurf. Like, I wasn't going to do any videos on it, but man, the amount of comments I have received across all my videos is tremendous, like a lot. It even went as far as getting a whole post dedicated to it in my school community. And as you know, if you post my school community and I think it's relevant, I'll make a whole video on it. Now, if you want to check out the school community, it's in the description down below. To get started here, simply hit download Windsurf Editor. This is going to download it to your laptop/desktop, whatever you use. I'll make sure to leave a link to this in the description down below. Let's jump over to the editor. My goal of this video is simple. I'm going to show you not only how to create code effectively with this editor, but I'm also going to show you how to deploy it. As one thing that always messes up in these tutorials, you're watching it, it's a 20-minute tutorial, and you're like, wait. We don't even see what the code looks like. Like, there's no front end, there's no back end. No. I'm going to show you. Let's go ahead and get started. First option we have, obviously, is we can import from VS Code or Cursor. Oh, no cursor. You also have the option to install Windsurf. I'm not going to do that personally. You can do it. You can use it in your terminal. This will make more sense. For now, we're going to hit Start Fresh. For key bindings, it's completely up to preference. I personally like using VS Code. Next. Now we get to choose how the code looks when we are editing it and creating it. I'm obviously going to go with dark. I don't know about you, but if I'm working late at night, it's like 11 p.m., 11:30. I don't want to see that super white screen just blasting my eyes. So we're going to do dark. Next. And finally, go ahead and sign up. This is what their sign up page looks like. I'm going to go ahead and just sign up with Google so all that information is filled in for me. Once you do that, you're going to get redirected to this window. We're just going to simply hit Open Windsurf. Here we go. Now, with Windsurf here, we have similar commands that we saw with Cursor AI, such as Command L and Shift Command P. This is going to open the command palette or the code of Cascade. Now, what it wants you to do is it wants you to supposedly kick off your entire code base by simply putting something here. Therefore, let's circumnavigate out of some terminal commands here and see if we can do it all within Cascade. As a side note, if anything happens during this entire tutorial, I'll make sure to leave resource docs in the description down below to help you out. But on top of that, you can use a website called bumpups.com. It will allow you to take this specific video link, put it into a chat, and actually talk with the video. Therefore, if there's any issues in this entire little guide here, you can just talk to the video. Oh, and also, I created this software. So you're actually getting real value and real tutorials from someone that actually runs a software company rather than just some random YouTuber. I'm not a random YouTuber. Let's go and begin. Let's see if Windsurf actually shines here. We're going to say create a React-based app. I want to have a directory be at this folder /Windsurf proj. Just initialize it. Hit enter. Not bad so far. This is the correct command, but there may have been a skip here for you personally. If you have any issue when it comes to NPM or not recognizing a command within the terminal, I suggest you to check out that Google Doc down below. Skip down to the step that refers to the ability to install NPM and Node.js. If that didn't make sense, don't worry. We're just going to hit accept here. That's only for people if they ran into error because NPX is not recognized. Looking good so far, and I'm actually starting to see the value of Windsurf here. They're making the terminal commands and the way you typically interact with IDEs, integrated development environments, Cursor AI, VS Code, a lot simpler, like a lot simpler. Almost like a conversation, which definitely is an advantage comparative to what we saw with Cursor AI. So what you'll notice here is that, I mean, this is going really far here. Whoa. Okay, so I was able to successfully create a Windsurf proj based off my information. All right, this is going, y'all. Now, what we want to do, though, is we want to actually open this. So this is going to be a React-based app, obviously called Windsurf. This is actually really impressive. Let's actually open this. So we're going to hit Open Folder. We're going to go into the folder of Cascade projects. I'm actually really glad they created a whole subfolder for this, and then specifically select the folder of Windsurf proj. Open. So this is going to open our code. It's going to prompt me whether or not I trust it. Obviously, I'm going to say yes, trust. I trust this folder here. With one little prompt here, we were actually able to create a React-based app. To check out past workflows or past conversations, I can simply click this. And this will show me the chat we had up to this point. So make sure, if y'all have not used this line yet, start your project like this. Go and copy that, write it down, you're good to go. And obviously, this is what we're calling a project. I call it Windsurf proj, as you'll see right up here to your top left. Now, typically when working with AI and specifically code, you can go down little rabbit holes here and keep talking to it so it has previous context. But off this initial prompt here that we got an entire React-based app, I'm gonna hit new conversation. And then before I show you anything further here, let's go and run this so we can see what this would look like in our web browser. In order to run this, we can come down here and we go to terminal. And then you'll notice that we're right in our correct terminal here. It also helps us with generating command here. What's impressive, and honestly, I'm starting to see why Windsurf is getting so much traction here, is they make terminal commands a lot easier. So hypothetically, I don't know the command is npm start. I just don't know. I don't remember. I could possibly simply ask, how do I run the app? But since we know what the command is here, it is simply just npm start, and we should see this run. click. There we go. And boom, we've successfully run that code and we see it live now. Now let's do some more fun stuff. Let me go ahead and give you some pointers real quick when it comes to this kind of environment, and then we'll jump more into the AI features provided by Windsurf. Right off the bat, what you'll notice is that the whole point of a development environment like this is so that we can edit the code here and see instant reflections there. So for example, we say edit source app.js save to reload. We don't care. We're like, no, no, and no. And it shows up right there. Now your next question might be is like, why does this matter? Why do I care? If we were to load this and push this to a live environment, e.g. a real URL, bumpups.com, applesandjam.com, like an actual live website link, you can't do instant reflections like this. We have to actually push this in a production level environment. So then your next question might be is like, how the heck do I do that? Check out the video down below or just check out this channel. I'm actually going to do a full in-depth guide with Windsurf here, showing you how to actually deploy to a real website link. The purpose of this video though is just show you its capabilities. So let's go ahead and make a fun little game with Windsurf AI. To do this, we're going to go ahead and hit Command L. Now, we have a ton of different options here. Your first major advantage that you'll notice with Cascada when it comes to Windsurf is basically how solid their terminal is and when it comes to terminal commands. I have noticed a ton of people in my past tutorials always having issues with terminal, so that should help a lot. Therefore, for us to effectively create an app here, let's reference the code in app.js and app.css. To do so, we're going to hit app, and then we're going to click this. We're going to do a little @ symbol. And then we'll do the @ symbol for CSS. JS is going to be the structuring. The .css is going to be making it look pretty, making it look good. We'll go ahead and do this prompt right here. From this code, let's create a side scroller game like the one Google Chrome does when there is no internet. Have it so we can get new high scores, jump with a llama 8-bit, and so on. And actually, to give it more context, and I haven't seen Cursor AI do this yet, let's add an image. To do this, we're going to simply hit Add Images. And the image I'm going to provide is just reference of what that Google Chrome game looked like. That right there is an extremely powerful feature that I've covered a ton on my channel, especially when it comes to front-end development. At this point, when it comes to AI and coding, you can basically mimic any type of website with AI, just providing more context, but providing the actual underlying image of the website. We are generating a full-on game by just doing a prompt. While it's working, it's going to show us a yellow hue, obviously, when it's editing the CSS. It provided us with the JS correctly. It also gives us kind of like a git commit, or in this context, how many lines have been removed comparative to how many lines have been added. It's even going as far as providing us context on how to actually play the game. And what's actually super cool here is that at the end here, it does provide me the ability to hit npm start, but since we're already running that in terminal, I don't have to. So I'm going to go ahead and hit X here. Then with the code provided, I can hit accept here, go to our CSS. It looks like we're going to hit accept here. Accept. Make sure you save. If you don't save, it's not going to reflect in localhost. Save, save. And with just that simple prompt, we have a game. Let's see what my high score is going to be, okay? Put in the comments right now what you think it is. I'm saying over 10. Okay, we keep going here. Okay, it's definitely over 10. Okay. There we go. So not bad. With just a little bit of coding, it even has the ability to detect when we hit a cactus or a green block and try again. And we have our high score. Pretty solid stuff here with just 2 sentences. Looking good so far. Now, Cascada also has another additional feature for us to try out here and play around is instead of writing to it, which is going to give us live code that's going to mess with our underlying directory here, we can actually chat with it. This is more in the context of maybe you're going through your project and you're scrolling through this, and there's just a part of the code that you're just like, what the heck is going on? Shrink down. So for example, let's say we're in our app.js, and this entire return, like everything after return, this return right here, we're like, what does this mean? What's happening? Why does this seem separate? I could come over here and just simply ask exactly that. To do this, I'm simply going to say, what is return, and why does it seem separate? Provide the code, hit enter. This is going to be chat-based, right? It's going to be chat back and forth. You have your little private teacher. 24/7 teacher. I teach code as well, but I'm not 24/7. Or I guess technically I am if you watch all my videos just on loop. But point is that you can talk to it and get more context. So if you don't know what it is, learn something new every day. This is basically how we're going to render on the front end what we see. If you don't know what I mean by render, it's how the UI reflects the game. So for example, here instead of score, I say big points. We got some big points here. And if I come back to the game here, you'll see big points. Just reflection. This covers a good amount of what I wanted to go over in today's video. I'm going to do a full in-depth video, like 30 minutes plus of Windsurf, showing you from start to finish how to deploy this to a live website link. If you want to see that, make sure to subscribe here. I'm also going to be doing other videos on this channel showing Cursor AI in different platforms and comparing them. If you felt like you learned something, make sure to leave a like. It's completely free and it helps me out here. If you have any issues with this tutorial, you can go to bumpups.com. There's a free 60 minutes. You can chat with this video, get all the answers you want. But without further ado, that completes this Windsurf video. Get ready for more this week, and I'll see you in the next video. We're doing the outro live. I'm playing the game while doing an outro. Those are 2 random videos That's my face. And I just lost this game. I'll see you in the next video.